Yo, what up people? Welcome to the stream tonight. 4 minutes early, but better early than late, you're right? So, this is gonna be a good one. So, oh dear, you actually bought Pimax. I will comment on that in a minute. 60 plays, mate, what up? And please save it. Okay, so, oh. Ja? Oké. Yo, wat rusten. Wat rusten, Luc. Doe dicht. Doe dicht. Kiddos go to bed. Please refund it. Well, I actually got the early access key. And I couldn't start the game properly. But let me get this screen up here. And now it's actually kind of running, and I just wanted to explore a few things. So normally I would do this alone, but I'd rather do it with you guys. So let's talk about it. Let's test some things out, because I've seen people on different streams and videos, and I agree with most of their points. I think the one responsible for publishing this today would probably have not slept very well before the release. So yeah, and it was still overpriced. Okay, well, you know what, I mean, let's do some testing. Okay, let's do some, because why not? And I said on some post that you want to get me into this, fine. I'm not go into all the options or multiplayer or AI. I don't give a shit about that. Tony, mate, welcome to the stream, mate. I've screwed something up here with the emojis. Can we change this? Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's check some things out. Okay, so first of all, let's open the game. This car, and we do Spa, because that was what is our benchmark pretty much always. And I want to first talk about this car, which I tested on the Sim Racing Expo. And to give some sort of a story, when you are new to YouTube, you build yourself an audience, and all of a sudden doors open in an expo, you just get excited, and proper reviewing or analyzing stuff is all really freaking new to me. So I was like this excited puppy, you know, like moving my tail. But the more I was testing this in this early access and in this factory driver program, the less excited I got over time. But I was giving all my feedback of my best of my ability, and here we are. So this, I wanted to do this car. Let's go this one. It's a lower price when you look at the 3 DLC you get next year. Well, and also like, even though the one who is marketing this stuff gives it as a full release, you can just treat it as like a beta and go from there, because this is not finished. It will not be like this, you know? I mean, that would be impossible, right? So let's have a look. And also, I'm also not gonna, oh, by the way, this is nighttime and the trees are fully lit up. So yeah, that's also something I don't think is proper. So let's talk about something. And I also wanna have a look how heavy my frame rate is. Also, I will note that I am a VR racer and I want to do VR. Now, this doesn't even run properly on screens, so I don't know how long that the VR was. They said early next year. I'm gonna see about that. So let's go to drive and see how off my shadows are, but else I cannot really. Hey, it's morning my shift worked. Yeah, okay. I wanted to get proper frame rates, the shadows look off and the nighttime looks off. Now, as far as I know, that is pretty good, like how a rouge pretty much goes. Let's take this braking point. So you look at that background over there, that doesn't really look well. And I also have sometimes so okay, the oversteer, right? That you get, which some sims do have as well. Do we have the brake bias? No, wait, let's... Yeah, look, listen to this. I will shut up, put the audio a lot higher. Listen to this. Listen. I think that is awesome. What I will say that there's some audio, like engine sound, kind of a sort of a frequency you hear in every car. So it's also very generic if you switch a lot of cars. They all seem alike, you know? So it's not perfect by any means. I bought it for PS5, not exactly happy from what I'm hearing or seeing. But I haven't played it yet since I'm at work. Guess we have to wait. Well, also, it's also a good idea to always form your own opinion. You know, I sometimes just decide not to look at reviews or listen to them and form my own opinion, because you get infected by other opinions. But these other opinions obviously are based on something, so sure. So a bit of oversteer, right? I need to change the setting to the brake bias slider, because that's my first thing I want to test. So if I go to control bindings, this was really confusing for me, these pedals and stuff. But here we are, the wheelbase, I think. Do we have a brake bias somewhere? Ah, there we are. Okay, that wasn't so hard. Maybe traction control as well. Okay, and what about ABS? ABS. Can we get ABS on the levels? Let's see. Well, if this works in one go, then... Oh, I don't have 11. Oh yeah, max. Okay. So, from a Moza wheel, I can use that, so. I need to build it still in this one. I desperately need a setup for the C80 GT3. I was always losing the rear. How do I stop this? Okay, Devin, that's what we're here for. But let me know which one that is. Is that the one that I'm having right now? The GT3 car? Or is it a different one? Sorry. GT3, CR8. That's where we're in, right? Or is it another one? Okay, let's go back. Save this. Back. Confirm. It's a bit... Can we change brake bias? Yes. Okay. So... if you brake and you lose control all the time, you have a brake bias setting problem. Let's see if this is proper in this game. Okay, it's still happening. Let's just do extreme. Okay, that doesn't make sense, as I am shifting the brake bias. I just did that, didn't I? Okay, so it's -8 from baseline. Okay, so this is the first problem, I think. Let's see if this works. The mouse here. Okay, now we're on. I'm doing it wrong. It needs to be up. Like this. Okay. Sorry. More control. Okay, so 25 is way too much. It's like 75, 27. That is not realistic. It should be way narrowed. But they're gonna change this. I know this for a fact. So, still live with a very wrong input. Now look, it's now on 71. Let's have a look if it still spins up under the braking. Well, it still wants to slide a little bit, but it's better now, I think. So the car sets into some sort of a slide and then it kind of slows down, you don't lose control. It's like the tires go like this. So it definitely needs something. Let's go to, and this behavior I see throughout the lap, so it's like basically all the time the same. So let's go, let's go back to the garage. Okay, so would be awesome to see this with PSVR 2 after everything's figured out. Yes, Dom, I think so too. I think it's also how do you call it? Like I think it's also very far away still. So let's talk about this then. I found if you have oversteer that on the slow corners, you would think, from my own setup philosophy, you want to stiffen up that front anti-roll bar and stiffen up these rear springs. We did already the brake bias change, so where is it? Is it over here as well? Yeah, brake bias. So we dropped the brake bias. Dropping the brake bias meaning, or increasing the brake bias, sorry, increasing the front value. So this one is drastically increased, and we have a very where is it, bro? I stiffen up the front anti-roll bar. Okay, so let's call it, and let's save it. And I believe you need to go back out to get default setup. I don't see a default setup here, which is, I don't know why that is. So let's call it 1. Or you know what? Let's go. Let's go. Let's build our first setup. Level 3. Okay. And let's try it out. By the way, guys, if you have questions, fire ahead, because I will try to answer them as best as I can. Let's see if these changes actually made a change. You hear that sound? Like something changed in the car? Something?
Clear of pit lane.
I think this is the best car sound. I wish the Corvette and LMU had this engine sound, really. And I have to admit, the trees and the dark sky, it completely looks off. Like, how can you publish it like this? But anyways. Okay, so I got a lot of more understeer, but we have the tires that not really warm, so let's wait for that a bit. Let's increase traction control. I used to use, now I need to use way more steering input somehow. So the front definitely has less. Yo, Dutchie mate. So I don't know, but I think I have a bit more control of the car now. The only thing is that I need to use the steering a lot more, and that there's not really a anti-roll bar change, which is kind of odd. But it does make, and also with the forced feedback feeling you get. Is it revolutionary or special? I don't think so. But driving on Spa on this car, what I also noticed is that my braking performance kind of dropped because I have this massive brake bias on the front, so that hurts braking performance. So in a way that is kind of alright, and you could see also I am not spinning it on entry anymore. You see that? So I don't know, I have my screen locked on 60 because I'm not a flat screen driver. I don't care about these things. I don't see it now being off, but my system is like, I have this powerhouse of a computer system and it's really struggling. So maybe we can have a look on the let me just get that task manager. So I'm can I show it somehow? Just a moment. Window capture. Where are you, bro? Display capture. Oh, sorry, I'm screwing this up. Just a moment. Move. I will get the task manager to show you what my system is doing. Okay. Oh, what about the window capture? Yeah, here we go. Task manager. Okay. Where's the task manager? Ah, there we are. Oh, that's very small. Let's yeah, there we go. So here it is. So if I'm driving a little bit here, Big Dave, I'm running a 5080. Okay. Yeah, I mean, don't worry, that will be sorted out, right? So look, this is my system. If I now go on track, so you can see that it's not particularly looking well, and you see my GPU is kind of like almost maxed out. See that? So yeah, that is a says CPS before stream be like. I don't know what that means, mate. Okay, so okay, so let's stop. Let's remove this. Okay, so I'm really heavy on the system. You could see that. Okay, GPU is like overloaded. There's some settings. I didn't do any optimization. I don't care about these things because I want to do it in VR eventually. As soon I will tell you right now, I will do this stream. I will make the content, but I will not go into this when it's not VR. I didn't do this with Le Mans Ultimate. I'm not gonna do it with HC Rally. I'm not gonna do it with Range Sport. I'm not gonna do it with anything. If there's no VR, I'm not touching it. So, but this this I wanted to do because there's so much shit and so much bad stuff said about it, but I didn't see anyone coming up with a solution. And I think the setup screen is the solution because it's the only way us as consumers to manipulate how cars feel. So I will tell you, if you're in a GT3 car, let me go back out here. What I did, and it's not solved, okay? The rear, it's still kind of tricky in a way. You don't lose necessarily control, but what you need to do is you need to stiffen up the front anti-roll bar to the max, and you need to go to the brake bias 75/25. That makes this car better, okay? So that's the thing I found right now. But I will also let me know if there's another car you want to look at or will want to change. I'm particularly interested in how this screen is set up. I like this. I'm not gonna touch this stuff for now, but what I do think is very interesting, let's say if I change the ride height, like with 5 millimeters, you can see that the telemetry or the ride height, actual ride height changes and corner weights, which is an interesting feature. You can see the camber is changing as we increase the ride height. Camber changes a little bit. This is something I really miss in Le Mans Ultimate, so this is kind of nice. But ride height changes as I do this should change the car aerodynamically. So let's have a look if that's actually happening. Now first we need to go back because I wanted to use the same camber value. So this is something you want to take a note of. So the camber is -3. Which is significant camber if you compare it to some other sims. But yeah, so let's add 3 centimeters, which is significant change typically. So let's bring the camber back to this value, 3.0. What, like? Stoop, you are right, mate. You are right. But we need to work with what we got. And I'm like I'm reversing the time tonight to have a look and see how we can polish a turd. Okay? So, or see me trying, or see me failing, whatever. Okay, 3 centimeters of ride height. That should give us a bunch of oversteer on the Arnouts section. Okay, so let's save this too, and we'll call it level 4 because this is more oversteery. Yeah, well, I mean, it's also better for a video to start, and they're right. The complaining is very built on solid grounds. You know, there's enough to complain about, sure, but let's not go there now. Let's see if this works because it wasn't working earlier. So maybe it works now. I don't know. So I added 3 centimeters of ride height. And I hope I lose control now in the first corner section, in this Arnouts Radion section. Because if you add a bunch of ride height, you get aerodynamic change to the front of the car. And that would make it very oversteery now. Not really. It does feel a little bit different. Again, tires are not in the window. Okay, so 3 centimeters ride height don't really change anything, so there's definitely some tweaking to be done aerodynamically. The front anti-roll bar kind of works, but it's also kind of lame because it gives like if you stiffen up front anti-roll bar, you're getting and more direct steering, and this steering started to feel more numb, but it was safer on entry. So stiff front-heavy roll bar, safer on entry, more sharp steering, but not sharp steering, lazy steering, and more safe on entry, which is kind of upside down. Anyways, let's go back to the. Oh fuck! Let's do this. Go back. Return to pit. Okay, let's read some comments. I'm not sure how to say this. Are you manipulating the settings to work? Yes, Sly Gunner Gaming. I do this with every car in every sim because I don't like the products of default setups. You know, they are default and they are maybe good, maybe not. They're not good. Maybe you like him, maybe you don't like him. But I'd like to give the car the behavior I want it to have, and the vehicle setup screen is our way to change stuff about the car, what we like, and to enjoy the sim better. Okay, so let's talk. Let's have a look. This is how you set up the car. Most simmers just jump in a car and race. Here you can make a difference. Thank you, Roadhog. Thank you for that. Renovation just got here. Why is the sky black? Is it paid for DLC? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. They gave it to me, so I kind of. But I was like, okay. Here's an inside story. I thought they revoked the game from me because I wasn't making the or the early access content, but it was actually not revoked from me. So I was really busy with my own stuff, with my setup store and like my deals of Black Friday, making videos. And then I kind of still needed to do this, but they gave me the code, and I was doing a lot of testing before the release, before the early access as well. So yeah, I just found a free evening to do this. So that's basically it. I don't know if you can keep up with chat, by the way. Reviews very negative. Good, they deserve it. By the way, I tried this Chicago Expo early. Every issue was present. Everyone in front gave me a constructive criticism and fixed nothing. I want to give it a try, but it's very disappointing with how it's been released. Yes, sir. And should you not have to spend hours setting up the car? Hey, Morningwood, bro. Welcome. Thank you for the support, mate. So let's spend hours to set up a car. The devs should include baseline setup that work. You really need to get on iRacing where you spend all your time on the actual track. Well, Natal, I think that is partly true. I think you can say that you should have a decent working car and you should not have to do this. But if I can tweak it to something I like, then it means it's possible. So it's a good thing to figure out now, especially when you're on controller. I already have a solution maybe for controllers. People that bought this already and they want to try to enjoy it, then we can try to find a fix for it in the meanwhile. You can also look at it like that. Or you can just piss on everything. That also you can do, you know? So let's and if you like doing setups, we do setups iRacing then. Yes, but Natal, okay, all right, but wait, I'm gonna try with your setup. Nice, Devin, try it. It's still the core of the car is still the same, yeah, but it's maybe a bit more forgiving. Give it time after you refund if they not fix anything. Yeah, okay, yeah, good, got it. Okay. So. Okay, so. Yeah, well, if you reward this, don't be mad in 5 years when sim racing is bad as the rest of the industry. Okay, so, I don't listen to... Okay, so, okay, what's your take on the throttle model? There's someone who's really smart about throttle models, but Let me... Okay, let me... I was gonna do this whole pitch, but now I'm confused. With iRacing, for instance, I don't like iRacing a lot. I don't like the load transfer of iRacing when I'm on the throttle. It doesn't matter what I do. I don't have load on the rear tires, and the car always wants to oversteer. And doing setup work in iRacing makes no sense to me. Not a lot of sense to me. Maybe you do a click or one or two, but you cannot really change the car physics in iRacing because this tire model is so dominant on everything. The game is, you get the illusion that you can change something on the car, but you actually cannot change a whole lot. So that's what I want to figure out here, if I can tweak it, you know? Okay, so yeah, Sly Gunner Gaming, I totally agree with you. For instance, the changes that I made are with, and then I'll go to another car, because I saw the Aston Martin hypercar is really dangerous, so maybe we can fix that a little bit. This massive brake bias, so I did like 25% brake bias change over here, from 50-50 to this. I don't know what the default value was. But if this slider needs so much tweaking, then it's a very simple thing in game to make that a lot narrower, right? So that's like a little bit of calibration I don't worry so much about. And then there's like the rear ride height didn't do a whole lot of change. So let's talk about toe then. Can we change some toe and make it really stable? So what if we added a bunch of toe? So we added toe, we go back one ride height. That wasn't really solving a problem. Now we added a bunch of toe. We also want to make it even more numb. So we're gonna increase some negative toe. Okay, max negative toe. And you could say like, oh, that's extreme. Trust me, I'm using this in Le Mans Ultimate as well. Works like a charm. And it used to be on the old ACC, this worked as a charm as well. So we take that knowledge and bring it to a new sim. So let's save this as well. Let's call it level 5.4. Oh, excuse me, 4.5. And let's have a look if we can make it like this. Now the car needs to, it is becoming super numb in theory on how it's steering. And let's have a look. Okay, what I expect with negative toe on the front, if you get a very lazy steering on the straights, and a lot of toe on the rear should give us a very stable rear end of the car. The sound I just really like. Didn't really, I was expecting a bit more of that, I have to be honest. So, not really changing anything else. Let's try something else. I really need to search for return to the pit. Okay, so in Le Mans Ultimate, it's really a good idea to drop camber a lot. So let's try that. Let's get rid of all the camber. Road car doesn't have camber. Okay, no camber anymore. Let's see how that feels. Okay, sorry, I will look at the... Yo, the sky is black, but the trees are lit up. It's a horrible thing. I don't like it either. It's not good. But yeah, I don't... I don't do the setups, that's not my bag, but we need people like you to do the work. Yeah. Okay, so Natal, awesome. Good stuff. Renovation. I decided to wait minimum 1 month post-release to buy. Good idea. From YouTubers playing recent builds, PMR devs were listening, but clearly they hadn't hired pro drivers to do their setup during development. I don't know, I think they know, but there's just no time, I don't know. I love PMR, I haven't enjoyed it in years. On console everything is dated, at stale, and Rensport isn't good as PMR. Cars made 30 plus years ago. Okay, mate. Good to hear, Devon427 Racing. Had they hired people like I don't know during develop, they. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's a renovation. There's lots of other people that have more knowledge than me. Trust me. I do play big, and I do claim things, and I have my opinions, but they are also evolving and changing. So maybe. But thanks for that kind words, man. It's appreciated. If you're on PC, it might be best to stick with what's available and let others enjoy the game without wasting your time bashing everything about it. Oh, okay. It's a good game. I don't understand the crazy hate. Oil slick. Okay, mate. The false feedback feels so strange. Wah! I'm not so certain. This force feedback doesn't feel that strange to me. When I came from ACC and I went to Le Mans Ultimate for the first time, that felt strange to me. So, but I think we're all also different in this regard. If you're on console, it's probably not bad for the value we have. If you're on PC, it's not good. I think that, Natal, that is kind of fair to say, yes. Yes, and what do you think about this? And maybe it's not so popular to say, but what if I compare this to Assetto Corsa Evo, for instance? Like, how would they stack up at this point? And let's just assume that this is also a beta. You know, it was sold as a full game, but it isn't. That we can all agree upon. But what if you compare the two? How bad is this then? Is it that bad? You know? 1,000 questions, yeah. And console version seems much better than PC at the moment. Okay, yeah. Hey, Michiel, mate, how you doing, mate? How are you, no, Sly Gunner, and I will tell you why. Yeah, okay, Michiel, I'm sorry. So, no, I will not play this a lot, because I'm a VR driver, you know, I want to do this, and this is not giving it to me, so. Okay, good. Okay, best. Okay, I will not say it ever again, Michiel, I'm sorry. It was just to provoke a little bit, and I provoked, so sorry. But did you play AC Evo recently, Michiel, or not? I didn't. I cannot run it in VR. It's just frame dropping. It's not working. Still not working properly. So. Well, yeah, okay. So, okay, good. Okay, so Camber. Okay, let's try the Camber. Yeah, well, I can understand, Michiel. I do, and I'm also in a way was hoping for more. Now I removed all the camber. What does that do to car behavior? Oh, that created understeer. Okay, that's understeer then with camber. That makes sense, right? Removing camber is creating understeer, which is valid. By the way, I removed the camber, so you on the bottom MFD you would expect to get more heat on the outside of the tire as we removed camber. I think the car feels more natural to me now. So I'm a bit disappointed with how the tire model on the MFD is displayed, because I still get the equal tire heat. You see that? There's no excessive heat on the outside as I'm running no camber at the moment. So let's have a look. Okay, but Michiel, what do you think of the engine sound of this particular car? I think that should kill us a little bit, but we're fine. Okay, so let's... It's a black sky, man. It's the state of the game. Okay. Okay, so let's summarize a little bit from the top of my head. We created a stiffer front anti-roll bar. That made it a bit safer. I changed a bunch of brake bias to the forward. We removed camber, and it makes the car feel a bit more natural. But it doesn't create any tire problems. So same as Le Mans Ultimate, we run very low camber values, and it doesn't make it makes the car better, and that's in this sim the same. So take some, if you try to enjoy this game and you want to test something out, remove the camber. Okay, so I like the sound too. Yeah. Okay, so let's what's guy? It's you should try to set the time to sunset. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Graphics, no, you get no argument from me. You're totally right. By seeing all this content on the game settings, oh well, if you know, I think if you bought the game, you're disappointed in multiple fronts, then you can bring it back. You can get a refund. I think so. If you're not happy, you should do it. Yes, correct. This GT3, yes. Oh, by the way, Arnouts, fixed Corvette in LMU, tested the 2.0 setups today. They were a game changer. Fuck yes. Yes, Tristan. Yes, Girolinski. Thank you so much. I was working on it for a very long time, but have a look how it operates under a very long stint. This is something I did not test, but I think you got better, way better setups than before. I'm sorry you can only have them right now. I don't know what car you drive tomorrow, but yeah. Okay, so. Leon, mate. That's god. Oh my god. Okay, good. GT Gamer, mate. Okay, let's go. Let's... okay, so let's... Okay, we did some tests on this car. I think we're think we did proper testing. We could do a lot more, obviously, but this is something like remove the camber would be an idea. Okay, let's have a look. What do we else we have? Is there something you want to see, guys? Let me know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have the 2022 version in here. If you also have this one. So why would you ever want to pick the 2022 then? Wow, I want to drive the Audi. Why not? Let's also do Spa. Okay. Physics are console like GT7. What's the difference in GT7 setups? I don't. Is okay. The physics most comparable to. It's hard to pin it really down, really. Okay, something I did not really like is that this is completely the same as the other car. Okay, so that's something I don't like because it seems that car models are the same. But yeah, whatever. I don't know with the brake. I just kept it on what I have basic. It's hard to spin the car. Yeah. Yeah, it's not so difficult to drive them. But yeah. Okay, let's go for an outlap to see what this is. Why have this camera? You can't argue with this.
All clear.
Now, the last time I was driving this car was in ACC. And that's what I mean with the engine sound. It's kind of the same. If you keep switching cars, there's not a lot of flavor. It sounds awesome, yes, it's like angry, but then they're all angry. So there's, to understand contrast, you need some cars to really sound nice and like screaming in your ears, but then other cars are maybe more like low rev, and this feels like screaming as well, like the same as the other car. So that's like, there's not a lot of contrast or flavor there, I think. I just put down the volume a little bit. Excuse me. I'm gonna change the settings of the black hell sky, okay? It feels different. Like this car also has a little bit of this problem. So what if we just also increase this brake bias by a lot? This force feedback feels a little bit more deaf. I think the Chevy was more direct. Oh, now it also doesn't want to really turn into this corner now. You know, guys, I will say something. When I got the early access of this game right after the expo, it looked like this as well. And I thought that was just the version of it for testing. So they were not giving us all this beautiful details. but it's just how the game is. Now I have some settings here off, yeah? So let me just get that out of the way first. I think I think the handling is okay. I don't think there's anything. I don't like. I've seen reviews and also and revolutionary. No, completely broken. No. As for handling, as for physics. Okay. Sky. Yeah, okay, I have some settings fucked up. I'm pretty sure. So let's do the daytime. How do we change this? Session. Summer. Average. What's the time? Where's the time? Oh, it's here. Here it is. By the way, if you would ever do setup stuff, make sure you're always in the same track condition, because else you would not know what you're changing. Okay, okay. How you actually got the change to influence the setup building system in PMR? What do you mean? No, I don't. I didn't do hypers. We could. Did I miss a message, by the way? Oh, it's I am. This channel looks like a... Yeah, but I have some settings fucked up as well. So... can we change something here, maybe? I'm already maxing out a lot of stuff. So, look, I have everything on low. Everything is like... I have some shadows. Field of view, low, volumetric. I don't know. I haven't really touched these things. I just focus on cars, not how it looks, because I already like also this. I don't. The real. Hey Jim, how are you doing? The real thing, I did just copy somebody else's setups from the thingy, from the graphics, and if I like them, I'll share them. But I don't mess around with this stuff too much. Screen space shadows. Let's turn that on. Okay, my game is freezing. Okay. Balanced? Okay, I'll try that. Look, thank you, man, for helping me out. Mattel 9985. Thank you, sir. Let's see if my system can actually run this. Okay, so let's go back to Spa. Let's do this car, and it felt different. I don't get out. I need to use escape to get out of this menu. Okay, so thread burnout. If that is the case, that means it is possible to do it. Okay, so that's positive, I think. I'm not gonna be super positive about a lot of things, but I try to get the positive out of it because there's so much negative shit about it. And I think it's already not knocked down on the floor at this point. So we try to help it stand up again, and maybe had a fighting chance in the future. Okay. So thread burnout. What did you change then? What made it controllable for you on the console then, or on the controller? You're not saying console though. Project Cars 2 was good. Why didn't it improve upon Project Cars 2? Automotive was developing the same engine even further. Do you have any TC or ABS recommendations for GT3 cars? No, I don't. I haven't tested it yet. I just use default for now. So let's try to remove the camber from this car as well. See if it improves. Because I think the Corvette was a lot better with no camber. So let's get rid of the camber. Which is very realistic, getting rid of all the camber. You know, this is what they do in real race cars. They remove the camber. Pretty much always. Okay, so and this is also in Le Mans Ultimate, yeah. We remove a lot of camber in Le Mans Ultimate as well. So and that's the hardcore sim, you know. Okay, and by the way, on iRacing it's max camber, so it's how the slider works. Don't see the slider as something that is linear. Okay, camber as well, yeah. Okay, good. What I was asking is, have the developers actually implemented your advice? Yes, Faku. Yes, Faku. Yes. Because I will tell you why. This slider, when we were in the expo, was doing jumps of 5mm. This bottom one over here. I said that's not real. You see a lot of every other sim does only in millimeters or tenths of millimeters. And this was 1, 5, 10, 15. They changed it. I also said, where's the rear wing? There wasn't any rear wing angle. This one wasn't there. And they added it. So they did actually listen. And it's not to say that I am the authority or anything, but that's just something I noted, and and after a week I saw this implemented. So they do listen, and they are continuing to listen to optimize all of this stuff. So there's still a lot of to be done, but there's also stuff gonna change. So okay, on console. Differential. Okay, good. Okay, let's where's that differential? It's here. The preload. So when you coast ramp angle, what does that mean? Okay, so we gonna do this again, 75, which is really extreme. Okay, let's not do too much. Let's keep this for now. Lee B Niyoami, sorry, WMR. Yes, I agree with you. I agree. Let's have a look. Snippy Dippy. Don't think Giant gonna let the game trash. They will make it work eventually. Yeah, let's hope so. I'm pretty new to this developer stuff. And like what games are doing and how they're developing. I'm so much into it right now, but I don't have a lot of history. I think the bloom of the lights is this. Okay, this looks better and it runs smooth. I think the blooming of the RPM lights are way too extreme, by the way. They're like almost blinding me. Like in daylight you can barely see them. But that feels a bit odd. So I think this car, I don't like this car that much. There's like this on the high speed it acts better, but if you go a bit slower you got this freaking yeah, there is this like when you steer the car, then it kind of doesn't want to really do anything. You gotta give it some more, and then it's like, no, dude, I'm not gonna turn, and then I'm gonna give some more steering, and then it's no, dude, and then all of a sudden I get the rotation. So that is something I have a complaint about how this feels, and you got also got this with the Chevy. Okay, let's do another one. Differential preload, power amp 90, coast 75. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, Carl Davies, I agree. I totally agree. I see a lot of different people in the chat, by the way, than the usual suspects. So that's good. Rear camber. Not the front camber then? Okay, let's have another look. What's got like... Which one shall we do? I want to test this car because I don't get the chance to get in these cars. I just want to drive cars that... It's actually bad because we need to drive cars that we already drive in other sims to compare. What about BMW then? I keep getting tank slappers. Cannot catch the car on the slow changes of direction. Okay. We're a lot alike, you know, changing stuff up. Okay, let's first drive this.
Clear of pit lane.
And again, a lot of times the BMW has this generic sound on a lot of sims, and here it's shouting, you know? So I think that there should be some more contrast between these engine sounds. This does not sound like the other BMWs at all. Like nothing like it. That corner every time. As it was also downshifting, so let me do that again and not downshift, which I typically do most sims, but let's have a look. Just take the grass if you want to make the corner. I have to be honest that this view that I'm getting right now doesn't really bother me that much. I think it's okay. What if I keep it in high gear? We still have this mega oversteer there. Okay, so when you shift down on corner entry, that locks up the rear tires and you turn the car. So be more gentle with the downshifts in this sim then to get rid of that entry rotation. I also changed the brake bias, so that is a factor as well. What if we just lift it into this Puhan corner instead? Let's lift a lot. Let's see what that means. This is not how you drive a race car. But if you lift it more, then you don't get that weird behavior. Let's look at the chat. I'm still tweaking. Okay, yeah. Does anyone feel clogging in their wheel? Clogging? What's that mean? By the way, your video, by the way, your ACC video on changing suspension settings was amazing. I know it was oddish, but I only recently started playing it console. Okay, mate, thanks for it's it's a bit oldish, yes, but under development. I will make a new mechanical grip video soon, very soon. Like next week, it's gonna be out. I hope, like really polished and like completely renewed. So look out for that. Devin 427 Racing, is the slip angle too extreme? I must say that this slip angle thingy, I think this feels better than Automobilista. Maybe not so popular to say, but if you go over it, you lose control. So yeah, I think it feels better than Automobilista, and I think it feels. I don't have a problem with the slip angle. That's not something that's standing out to me like, oh, this is faulty. I think the slow corner entry is not really feeling that well. By the way, I also said, and I don't know if it was because of me, maybe others have pointed this out, but before this build, everything felt like a Porsche. Like it would be like this weight pulling you into a spin all the time. Way more extreme than it's doing now. So it was tweaked already. What else? But what if the cars were actually set up properly from the go? Not much to ask though, for my opinion. I spoke to Ian Bell via Twitter earlier and suggested that the cars are off and he claimed they are perfect. Well, I don't know. I hear this Ian Bell name a lot. I have not spoken to him, and I must admit that I was not really informed about this individual. But I do know he is a good salesman, and I will just leave it at that. Yeah, I've been not downshifting in the corners as much, but it feels weird. Yeah, tread, and it feels unnatural. I want to freaking downshift these 3D3 cars to slow the car down, but yeah. Do you agree it feels like the Force feedback is missing some small details on road texture? Yeah, I think it's a bit deafening, but I think sometimes if I compare this to ACC, I think it is, I don't know, there's a bit more than in ACC, but if you compare it to Le Mans Ultimate, I think Le Mans Ultimate is kind of borderline. Like, if there's like one piece of road texture, it's like, so, yeah. It's a skill. Ian can sell sensory to the Arabs. Yeah, it's a great skill. But like, I've been reading this book about the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and it's same and it's like what I want to say here. And you know, Arjen Robben from the football team, he would always do the same trick, and the defenders would always fall for his tricks. And if you have this Ian Bell and he has good marketing skills and he's good at selling and everybody's hyped when he announces something, then I think people really hoping for something like this. And like, yeah, I don't know, it's interesting thing. I believe Arnout is correct. Put some time in a car, not a bunch of cars, just work one. And the setup, treat it like a real supermarket. So if you don't come away with a different perspective. Yeah. Okay, that's good. I like that. Thank you. Well, GT Gamer, downshifting and rotating and get the oversteer you get from road cars. Like if you have a Honda Civic. No, not like a Honda Civic. Like I did some cars on AC Evo where, like the Porsche, they have this really long gears and I tend to shift down too quickly and you lose it in oversteer. That's actually a real dynamic. I think that is real. The problem is I don't know how to tune. I just like to race. Okay, Carl Davies, that is totally fair. And I would just start small. Start with one slider and see what it does. You know, that's how you start. That's how, like, okay, where are we? We were driving this BMW. Let's do some more. Same as for the, like I said, of the engine sound. It feels very generic to me. Like this sounds the same as the other two cars we've driven this far. So you can see here on the end of the straight we're doing 262, okay? I'm not losing it in oversteer now, you see that? So... okay. I'm late, sorry, I'm watching at 45 minutes, but... okay, that's also a good point to make. Let's do some proper driving first before we complain about the heat of the tires. That is true. We are skipping ahead, but I have no time. I have the content to make. No, you're right. Let's do some more laps and let's do that. That's a good point. What if we increase the wing angle a little bit? So adding rear wing now. So it was 262 the end straight after the Blasphemo. Okay, so let's see. I want to reduce the camber of this car as well, and maybe after this, people of the development said, "Oh, this stupid guy, he reduced the camber. What an idiot." Maybe that will be the case, but you know, you don't know afterwards. I've learned already quite some things about this stuff, so. Okay, let's do a few laps and see what the heat up is, okay? Okay, so let's go.
Clear of the pits.
Let's heat up the tires. Let's use some more traction control. And add some brake lines again, because... let's heat up the tires. Toka Racing, is it? I can see how the differential settings could change the car behavior. So I think what I like about the wheel is that there's this weight on the wheel that I don't get in. I get it in LMU as well, but I get it better over here. Now if I touch the curb, I can feel the curbs, and I can feel a little bit of shakiness here on this. Wheel over here as well. Again, I remove the camber and it doesn't feel so strange to me anymore. I also increased the traction control by a little bit to 8. And I added the rear wing, you remember? So let's look at the top speed then. You see how it's lower? That's actually pretty accurate, if you ask me. Oh yeah, but these I think the penalty system is something you can change very quickly, right? Or not? Okay, and it's also not really popular to say that stuff. I mean, it should be taken care of if you're releasing the game as a full game. But I think they 2 months before release, most of the developers kind of realized that was not gonna happen. Look at the top speed here. Tony mate. .258 on the end straight over here. So, I don't know if you noticed this, but we have decent heat in the tires, I think, at this point. If I'm going off the MFD here, and I quite some understeer in this, like, mid-corner. You see how it wants to rotate on the throttle? Here I have the understeer, so... I like how the car is slowing down on the gravel though. So, very forgiving. Let's drop the ABS. Okay, TC is kind of... This was a very slow lap, by the way. Okay, that's sorry for the engine sound. Snippy. Okay. Yep, I bought the pre-ordered on the promises, but now I have to keep it and wait for patches to make it playable. I've played simcades and races such as Forza and PlayStation, and I feel woo. What do you feel, Carla Davis? Who inadequate? Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Okay, yeah, I get that. Let's okay. The modern GT cars, Worthy, let's have a... Yeah, okay. I think there's need to be patched for controllers, so we got setups for controllers, I don't know. The modern GT cars in this game are underdeveloped. The IMSA license was acquired more recently after Giant's engine acquisition. I'm legitimately scared to try a higher powered car. I don't think this game has the potential to be something... I do think this game has the potential to be something great in the near future. Yeah, it's early days, but yeah, I think it could. Sure. Some people say this game has potential, but I fail to see how it's possible with the game that doesn't do anything well. Has potential. Yeah. They should hire as a developer. Well, maybe one day. Maybe you are the one that saves PMR reputation. I also don't want to make it better than it is. There are plenty of issues, I will admit. And I'm not even close into playing this game for full time because I don't get that over here. I don't get VR over here. So I thought the car was pretty good, or I was slow to 27, which is a damn, like, can I even be on YouTube with such a slow lap times? I'm sorry, but I was taking it really easy. Yaki, so you have the game? Yeah, now it's working. The early access, it was not really working, but now it's working better. So they definitely changed something. I couldn't even complete a lap in the Nordschleife, so I feel your pain. Okay, yeah, to Carl Davis. Okay, so Leon, I'm actually giving the feedback in a private channel on Slack with PMR. So I'm already kind of working my way into the development, but I also I'm not really sure what they expect of me or what I should do. But I try to give them my 2 cents, basically. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, I also, but remember my system, and I'm maxing everything out right now. So, I got it for 5090, you know, doing all this loads of bad optimization. But also, Leon, I also take it like a voluntarily thingy, and I'm not really sure how much time I should put into it. I still have a business to run, you know, takes up like my whole week, basically. So I don't have a lot of time to do it. Okay, so understeer. We have understeer. Well, we have understeer because we did so much. What do we did? We did the wing angle. So what if we did less then? Would it now go faster? Let's do 1. Let's do 0. That's a bit extreme, maybe 1. And these are the anti-roll bars. And let's try to get some coast ramp angle and more preload. And let's add this one. I think this is a real thing you need to do with every car, GT3 car. 75 brake bias. That will make the entries better. You can also change the gear ratios. Interesting. Could use a bit more gear. What was it on? This one? Tony is everywhere. Well, that's the Leon. That's like the master plan. I don't know. Just get it working better for everyone before I'll take that angle. And there's no point in doing all of this stuff because it will change probably. But this is just so. I just also wanted to do this stream to experiment, you know, and to share it and to see what everybody's thinking. To instead of listening to Gamer Muscle, who makes like 700 videos every 2 minutes about the game, you know, to get views. And it's a good way to get views, don't get me wrong. I think I was a bit jealous. I was like, man, I should have made some content, more content about this game. I could have some, I would want like 10% of his views, but yeah, okay. See, I should be your consultant. I'm already gonna pay you for this. I couldn't come up with these ideas myself. It stinks players that don't enjoy. No, but Thread, Burnout, don't be like I am. If you don't like that, then it's okay. You know, they should give this. We are gonna make this better for you, so you don't have to tweak, and it's gonna be plenty of like default stuff that should be working better and optimized. So 82 we are. Well, look at that. I never reached the triple digits, so it's about time then, isn't it? Can we get 18 more people somewhere? Oh, maybe next time. Who knows? Okay, let's move on. We changed the wing angle. We changed the differential. So the differential should be if I'm not mistaken, is locking now more, which is makes us stabilize on entry. This is what the coast ramp angle will do. At least that's the plan. And these are clutch plates. More clutch plates give more locking. Fuck it, let's max that out as well. Save the setup. Okay, let's try it out. It can only get better now. Yes. Yes. It can only get better. It can only get better, yes. Everything gets better over time. People always say that the old days were better. It isn't true. We romanticize the past, don't we? By the way, I added clutch plates. That's not good for the throttle entry. Or the throttle behavior on exit. Okay, so the rear wing gives us a bunch of understeer, which is not accurate at all. We have more top speed, you see that? Look, the top speed, here we go. So, I am really positive about the fact that the wing gave us more top speed. I think we went a bit extreme with the clutch plates, and it's really oversteering now, so it was not a good change, I think. Like, it really wants to go in a straight line, but we also changed the wing setting, so it's probably not the best setup work we've done tonight. It made it worse. It made it worse. This is not a good change. What about top speed again then here? So Carlisle Davies, that is good, mate. Thanks for subscribing and calling me calm and collected. You definitely haven't seen anything of me yet. I'm not always calm and collected. There's a lot of understeer, but we have more top speed. So there's definitely a factor in the... And the braking is really difficult too. And look at this. I lost it. Let's heat up the tires some more. Yes. What? I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. More wing increases understeer is incorrect. Isn't the front lighter so understeer? Yes. If you reduce rear wing, if you increase the rear wing, you should get more understeer. And you offset this with rake. So you offset it with rear ride height to balance it out again. That's the idea. That's what most sims, how they do it. Over here though, I think there's some tweaking to be done. Yeah, we broke the setup. The differential, I broke the differential. So there's the changes I made were not good. I think the no, it's okay. If you can educate me on tunings and such and help me to make sense of the game, it's a subscribe worthwhile. Well, that's good to hear, mate. So you want to get into setup then, like really? Something to drink here? No. Okay, so we added, we destroyed the, destroyed this. I think the clutch plates was the issue, most likely. It was on 7, 8, was it? 7? Preload, the coast ramp. Maybe power angle. Maybe it should be like this. Okay, so if you like, it's if you do the wing settings, like what I usually would do is, like, if I have a lot of corners, I want that rear wing to have give me the downforce, right? If I have a lot of straights, I want to get rid of it. But typically you'll find that when you do low wing setups, they are typically stiffer on springs to maintain stability on the front. They typically have less rake, so you would drop the rear ride height. So you can see here the rear ride height, let's say it would be 70. With less wing, you would run a way more neutral rake in the car. And then you have bump stop length also. So from a perspective of ride heights, let's say 53 over here, and we have a bump stop length of 20, that means when we go fast and high speed, the ride height would drop by some distance because the car is squatting into its suspension. So if you look at a Formula 1 car, let's say, on the rear camera where you can see the rear spoiler, you can see that these cars, when they speed up in speed, they drop and drop and drop and drop into its spring travel. They suck onto the tarmac, and this is how they get that floor effect of the downforce. And this bump stop lengths determine how much that's gonna happen. So let's say if you would add 50 millimeters, and here as well, now all of a sudden the car is squatting like lower to the surface than it would be on 20. I already did these tests in the beta, and this would create more of a body roll in the car because we have more spring travel, so the car body rolls more. More roll is detrimental to aerodynamic performance, and oh my god, you can go a mile deep with all this stuff. I actually, I will not use this to promote my own stuff, but I have a dedicated car setup guide explaining all of this stuff. One thing it's not explaining though is the bump stop spring, and I might need to write a different article about this, because this is something when a really high speed tuning happens. So yeah. I don't want to, however, with cars, they are at the moment, it looks like I'm gonna have to steep learning curve ahead of me. I'm arrive and drive fella in Forza. I just download tunes and had fun. Well, maybe I think it's also more depth. You got more depth in the setup. Getting more out of it, you know? I think there's beauty there. Solving a complex problem. Yeah, look at the videos that I make. I am all set up. I'm so passionate about setup. I don't know. Okay, what did I did? I did like neutral rake, low wing. What was a wing? It was a wing. Zero wing. Let's try it out. And we did the normal. Let's oversave it because the other one was trash. Oh, it's not even saying do you want to override this copy. Nice. Steering stiffness, steering. I'm not gonna touch this. Okay, let's do some more. Let's do a proper lap now. Try it. Ooh. What happened there? Well, that's I have ADHD as well, or they diagnosed me with it. Now I don't know what the F is happening. What is happening here? I'm confused now. Let's do something else. Completely lost control again. Maybe the wing was a problem. I do this, by the way, to get the default setup back again, by the way. That's why I'm doing this. But to get back on the HDHD thing, if you find something you're passionate about, the HDHD won't be the problem. The problem with HDHD is that people think you should focus on boring stuff. And if you can't focus on boring stuff, what you think is boring, then they say you cannot concentrate and they mark you with H2HD. But the truth is, you just don't give a fuck about the tasks you were giving. And as a child, they give you then, okay, you cannot read or you cannot do maths, you must have ADHD, let me give you some pills, and now you can focus on boring stuff. You know, that's what ADHD is, in my opinion. You know, I am really, like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened here, but I think the rear wing was the problem of that entry. I think it's really punishing to go low wing then, I think. So let's just remove the camber again and do a few laps. This is, by the way, how you should start setup building. I was like tweaking like crazy. What? Look at, if I'm dropping the camber, the ride height changes as well. Kind of fun. Okay. And what was this one? No. Brake, this one. 75. Level 3, was it? 2? Call it 3. No, but there, Carl, there are things you do understand, like properly. Or when you're really, like, maybe you're a very good driver and you can focus on driving for hours. So where's your HGHD then? It's not present, is it? So it's situational. So it's okay. I can't focus on stuff that I don't care about. So we need to agree upon that the default wing setting is kind of good. Because it gives us some top speed and not strange things then maybe, so we don't have to change the wing necessarily. Yeah, I think that, like, what people complain about the car turning too much in the low gear, that is something you again, this corner then feels pretty much okay, you know. Also, when I'm cornering like this and I hit the brake pedal, I get the rotation, the car, you know? Oh, like I'm hitting the gravel, almost losing it. The downshifts is the problem. So, something that developers could do is have less aggressive downshifts. Like, not so much detrimental behavior on the downshifts. And that's based on other sims. So I'm not saying it's unrealistic as it is now, but the other sims do it a little bit differently. Like, again, I'm putting it in first gear, and it's a habit I developed using it on a lot of different sims. So
Remember, the car will feel loose
Yeah, I'm gonna do that in the future. If this game keeps developing, I'll do that, Devin. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna do that if they keep developing this. Because there's still a lot to be done. Cutting that corner a little bit. Hitting the gravel is really deadly. The downshift is the problem. Again, no name feels like that. No name corner feels well. Also, this corner, I don't really see all the negativity about how that feels. It's the downshifts is the problem. In every other sim you would drop the gears more. So let's try something else then. Yeah, and I'm the high speed corners and when the low speed corners is a problem basically. Because if I hit the brakes while downshifting, and also the throttle is a bit weird. Let's do some more traction control. It's okay, GT Gamer. It's the downshifts again. Let's keep low gears. Let's try to remember this. Can we get a decent lap time in? We're high speeds now, aren't we? A bit of understeer here. Haha, GT Gamer mate. Come on. This is me not driving VR. Okay, big mistake. Big mistake in a 220. So 219-ish, 219 lap time. Seems accurate. I still don't like the car entry being really under the limit, as I feel. That would be great. I'm hoping to hop back in a few minutes and try out the Corvette. Yeah, okay, let's have a look, mate. Still, there's plenty of to discover still. Okay. Okay, so how much time we have left? Let's have a look. Okay. Do you guys want to see? Oh yeah, we need to go to the GT4s, man. Look at this, man. All these GT4s. Hey, Ern. Wow. Organ. What about this then? I want to try this. Different circuit though. Ja, nog wel. Teken hem, straks bieten ze die stekken. Hey. Wat heeft nodig?
Wat is het?
Voor mij? Ik versemmel wat. Ik doe het zelf wel in.
Nee, dan. Maar moest wel niet.
Dan moest ik inpakken. Ja, ik heb die dingen natuurlijk correct maken.
Pak deze mooi.
Oké, best. Ja. The TVR. TVR? This one. I used to race this in Forza Motorsport. Let's do it. Let's pick another track. This is not really suiting. Let's pick Solder. See who doesn't want to go in camera. So this is the same. And I cannot change this. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's just do default. Again, this engine sound, if I hear this engine sound, it feels to me all the same. Does this car has downforce or something? I'm confused with this one. This car doesn't have downforce. Now I don't have any knowledge of these kinds of cars, but this just feels really fake to me. Don't like this one bit. That is a disappointment. What about this one then? Proper Beamer. Okay, that sounds different. So this BMW has like what, 200 horsepower or something? Look how it slows down in the first gear. No, yeah, I didn't try a lot of things yet. Brutal. You know, this braking noise. Listen. This braking noise, it's in every car the same. That is stupid. Yeah. Okay, this BMW, yes, it has a lot of power, but has it the power to completely immediately spin? So if I stand still here, and I don't have any RPM from the baseline, or is this just a clutch how it works? Let's see at the RPM. So it immediately thinks that, like, how much horsepower does a BMW like this have? Like the old BMW is like what, 300 horsepower, 400, something like that, but not from 0 RPM. Okay, maybe it's a clutch thing, I don't know. This car has a little bit of downforce now, I believe. I'm not sure about this car though. It, like, I don't... Yeah, let's group C. Okay, let's do that. We did a lot of GT3 car testing, but I'm getting a bit bored, so I wanted to also check out what is Group C actually. What is that? This cars. Merc then. I'm not a BMW fan. I mean neither. Okay, good stuff. Michiel, you're still here in the chat. I just read your message. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. Let's try this then. Let's go back on Spa then. Mate, Maytel, say, I don't know. It's the downshifts. There's something with downshifts that I don't like. That cause these problems. Yeah, random at times. I will give you my opinion in a bit, what I kind of realized right now. Okay, but this feels really strange to me. This force feedback really feels strange to me. This feels really floaty to me. This doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, break on. By the way, I don't have a lot of experience in these types of cars. It was mega fast, obviously. Obviously, driving these kinds of cars, this is where I do say you got this weird slip angle. Look at this, like how it's like, and nothing's happening. If people say this feels more consistent, then I totally disagree. This is what I absolutely don't enjoy. Yeah. Okay, so. Okay, yeah, well, it's like. It felt like really elastic, like. That really didn't feel. That I don't like this at all. This is not something I want to go back to. What about this then? I did this on Forza. Maybe maybe it should be like that. I don't know. Maybe don't listen to me. I'm not the guru here. I'm just trying stuff out. This should feel a lot stiffer.
Clear of the pits.
This is actually really enjoyable. Oh man. And my mind is split. I think this was the best experience this far. This I didn't want. This, like the spin I created, I did myself. So this Merc is cool. This is something I like. I believe you are right with the sims that are new, that are older, that are definitely gonna outcompete new ones at this point. That is the car that added chicanes at Le Mans. Okay. Because of the flying cars, right? Okay, let's do this. This was enjoyable. This was actually enjoyable. Like these have lower camber values. You see that? Different toe values. Interesting. Also wing angle here. But we don't have to change it because it's okay. I want to do this again.
All clear.
I drove this in Forza a lot. It was a bit slow then. So if you use this car and set the brake bias low, it immediately sets into a spin, which I like, which is proper. Oh, you cannot take that full throttle? Okay, this was good. I cannot really drive this properly, but I like this a lot. So much to test though. What about this sounds like a... Let's try this. I like this as well. Have a better livery for this? Why not cannot I buy a different livery? I want to buy a livery. You know, with the Ren Sport. Have you tried playing with no, Mattel, I didn't try force feedback settings. So is there, like, I might end the stream in a bit. What about this device then?
Hammer down now.
The engine sounds are becoming very generic. Also the locking up of the front wheels, I can really feel in the steering wheel. So, and you can see you can easily spin the car. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, GT Gamer. Yeah, the engine sounds, I'm fed up with engine sounds now, because it's the same shit. It feels like the same shit. Same. Different, but the same, you know? A bit different, but still the same. And then different, but also still the same. Is this like a joke or something? Like, yeah. LMDH. Let's not go here. Not my expertise that much. Okay, so there was the GT3s. Let's end up with GT4s then. Somebody said something about the Saleen. Look at this, mate. There are some fun cars in here, that is certain. I like this car as well. Problem with car sounds in general is due to the microphones that are used. Oh, really? Wheel settings, default. I have the wheel settings on my Patreon, free Patreon. You can just pick them up. I'm not really changing a lot with that. I got invited to the 24-hour with the caddy today for the hypercars. What about this then? Okay. This sounds good. This is what I remember of Forza.
All clear.
Again, is this an atmospheric V8? Right? That doesn't have the torque to immediately spin the tires in the low gear, right? And with this car, did you hear the extreme gears? Yeah, and then this I think feels real to me in a way, in a lot of ways. Ooh, the horrible downshifts. This engine sound does nice. Yeah, the downshifts are so aggressive, mate. It's too much. John, well, yeah, I mean, fair play. I get that. And yes, wait a bit. But it's so mixed. I'm so split in a lot of ways. Like, this was, like, brilliant. But also the downshifts. The downshift is a real problem. And it's in every car. So it feels more like a core problem than anything else. And maybe in real race cars you do feel this downshift, and we as sim racers need to be educated on the downshifts. Maybe we should not downshift so much. This car I drove a lot in Forza Motorsport as well, which is a decade ago, but you hear, I don't like the engine revving on the RPM limiter. This also feels really generic, as every car does is the same. Like the I'm like this more like sports car that look like road cars. I think the downshifts I think I'm doing it wrong. But this was again kind of enjoyable, but the engine sounds and the RPM engine sound is then again also very generic like the other cars. So, but these cars do make a lot more sense, and I think the GT3 cars are more broken, so they definitely need more work. But yeah. Jardier hates it. Watch this video. yeah, well, yeah. I think a lot of people were expecting this sim to drive like racing simulators they've been driving, which could explain the issues everyone's having. But yeah, I think the problem is in the downshifts. Yeah. So I think that the most, I think this is a video, by the way. I think the most beauty is found in older sims that are more developed, more supported. Yeah. So what else? GT Force, yes. This is something I want to drive, actually. Let's just stick with Spa. Game simulator is not actual simulator which devs claim they build. It's like what I see with so what I'm like the stuff that I did right now with the setup in the GT3 cars is that something I did because I did a lot of GT3 car racing in here in before the game came out. So I did it a lot, like not that much, but quite a lot of things I tried. And it feels to me that the cars are not actually different cars. But I don't know if that's true, but let's test this GT4 car. Lots of understeer. I don't like this engine sound. I don't really hear the engine. Again, this braking sound again. Can we? No, we cannot change the brake sound. Wow, this car just doesn't want to turn. Okay. Well, I don't know about this. This also didn't feel really good. Yo, Carl, thanks, mate. Real cars can be predictable depending on your driving style and setup. Which sims it's crap. Shoot. Real race cars are truly hard to control. Depends on which race car, I think. I think that some cars are maybe not that hard to control, but maybe difficult on the limit would be a thing. I'm I'm gonna call it a day. I wanna thank you all for watching. I think the downshifts is a problem. I think the camber, you should reduce camber, increase the brake bias, and to the front value up. And maybe I'll do another stream with this with an update or something. So I will be in touch with development, I think, a little bit. Maybe I'll send a newsletter or about it. So these kinds of things. I want to thank you all for watching. And thanks for all the chat and comments. And Mr. Mole, sorry I missed your message here. I see my hard car won't turn. Jerry hates it. But my first impression is that some things feel really generic. And the engine sound, engine rev limiter is kind of the same everywhere. Downshifts. Yeah, so maybe, and I'm waiting for VR. If it's gonna be played in VR, then it's gonna be, I'm gonna be more drawn towards it. But yeah, I don't like the breaking of the discs, the braking sound. I don't like, and I don't. I think there's a lot of variety on how the cars feel. This car was an absolute turd, but yeah, I don't know. So, guys, okay, then we need to end with, should you buy this and has it great potential? Because that's very popular to say, right? It has, if we treat this not as a full game, but as a early access something, then it's like it needs a lot of work then. It doesn't particularly look well. Although I think this car in this menu looks really good. But in other areas it's lacking. My system is bottlenecking almost. 5090, 9090 50X3D. The LEDs in the display are way too bright. Again, braking sound and the throttle application, the power every car has in the first gear feels a bit stupid. Downshifts and those kinds of things. So slow corner rotation, and it's like really safe at times. Yes, it could be better to lose some more control, a bit more oversteer. So yeah, Slygunner Gaming, thank you, mate. Thank you for the comments, and thanks for all the chat, by the way, and the support, and giving the likes and all that stuff. So yes, we definitely need VR, because that will be the main pain point for me for every sim that is coming out. I am not so eager to do game reviews or anything, but I think this deserves the proper stream. So I think that all the opinions that are out there currently, it's just so bad because it's a full game release, I think. If you can forget that and think, okay, this is beta and they're gonna patch it 2700 times, then I think there's a lot that can be improved. But as for engine sounds, they're gonna change all the engine sounds? I don't think so. So feels generic then. And that's also the problem with simulations that try to be simulation and offer a whole variety of things. You're gonna drop the ball somewhere, it seems, because it's too complicated to get it all different and all that stuff. So oh, look, I have a game crash when I'm exiting game. By the way, the game was not crashing one time. We have other games. We played other games that were crashing a lot. So there's that. That you cannot ignore this. It was running the whole time. So I have played different games that were freaking buggy and whatever. So there's that. Okay, guys, thank you, and see you next time.